Cool. So let's talk about collections. Something a lot of people have told me in the past is they would actually really enjoy a video of just me sharing and talking about my collections. So let's do it. First things first is I love fashion. So if we switch to fashion here, I have, I think, all of the fashion sets except the old school PvP pirate set, which actually is quite similar to the Cosmic Captain set. It's just not as cosmic, but I have pretty much most, if not all of them, so I like fashion a lot. Let me come back here. I have a lot of armors, so I do consider myself someone that likes to collect appearance items, but yeah, I definitely don't have as many as I wish, but at the same time, I'm almost capped on a lot of these slots, and I worry it's just a matter of time until, I do max out these slots, and I don't really want to end up, not having any more spaces. So I collect what I can, but in the meantime, yeah. Second is companions. I collect a lot of companions. I have pretty much one of each. I'm still missing a few, but for the most part, I have most of them. And my stable, oops, go current here. I wish they showed qualities at this point, but they don't. Probably an easier list to look at would be this. I have a pretty good number of mounts, which I like. Some of these are more rare or limited edition, like this one, Surtux Teal Dusted Axebeak. Probably one of my rarer ones. The Ice Panther is rare too, if I could find that. Yeah, I have most of these, but yeah, I don't know if there's really any mounts I have missing, to be honest. I think I have all of them, except the new legendary one. I have the mythic Omen of Despair, wherever that little horsey is. Yeah, I'm not good at finding things in this list. It can be a pain trying to find the mounts that you want, but I pretty much have all of them. So mounts, companions, fashion items. Then I also have vanity pets, but this is kind of far from impressive, so I don't really have much to comment on it. It sucks because a lot of the legendary vanity pets that you get from dungeons and whatnot, they're on my cleric or my fighter, which is so unfortunate because those ones bind to character, so I can't just put them on my rogue like I could with Lumi. So that kind of sucks, but I still have a fair few, but it's not really something I have heavily focused on collecting, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. After Enyo, we have a Strub. So a Strub is my die collection character. If you remember way back old school days, you used to have to use dies. There wasn't this whole appearance system. They've definitely worked on the appearance system over the years. And for this, I just have all the dies. I have generally one of every die. Some of these are a little more rare or less common. I'm missing one die. Literally, actually no, I'm missing two dies. And yeah, I don't think I'll be getting those anytime soon, but yeah, otherwise I have one of every die, including the old die remover. Then we have, that one doesn't really matter. Let's look at treasures. Yeah, treasures. So something I really, really enjoy collecting actually is old treasures. Basically, the treasures, it's what you get from utility kits. They used to drop from enemies, but I don't think they do anymore. And yeah, I used to sell them for silver, gold. I don't know why. These ones used to be, yeah, 35 silver. So selling these would generally give you a good amount of extra gold, but Yeah, I don't think they drop anymore. Some of these definitely don't drop anymore. So these are the more recent or more common ones. Actually, this one's kind of falsely under the wrong category, I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty old. You can't get those anymore. I just happened to get them in a full stack when I bought them or collected them, so I just put them up here. But those are pretty rare as well. These are all a lot less common. You've maybe never even seen these icons or even, you know, names used before in the game, so those are pretty rare, and pretty much none of these you'll find regularly on the auction house. So yeah, these more common, these much more rare and much less common. I think even these keys, I think I saw some of these keys earlier and they were pretty, yeah, pretty expensive. So these are good collectors. Good collectors. After treasures comes my enchantments collection. With mod 21, or not mod 21, with mod 22, they took out the old enchantments, added the new enchantments, lots of different opinions on that. I'm not here to talk about that. Just in preparation, I collected one of every enchantment at rank 1, and I also collected one of every enchantment at rank 9. I collected the shards. Now, 2 of these shards are listed as dummy items. Not sure why. These should be Briar Twine and Blood Theft. Not sure why they're called dummy items. It's probably not gonna get fixed, to be honest. This would probably be something Cryptic would consider a minor bug, and it just wouldn't reach high priority. Thus, it's probably not gonna be fixed, so these are now called dummy items. It is what it is. I have one of every weapon and armor enchantment, aside from limited edition ones, at their minimum rank. So yeah, I don't have ones like the Flower Bark Shield or the Butterfly Bilethorn because I exchanged those. I decided to just get the illusions. And yeah, but I do have one of every illusion. You won't see them here. Some of them are equipped to my characters, and this includes the Divine Vorpal. So I have literally every single illusion in the game. I'm not missing even one. So I'm proud of that collection as well. I've got the anniversary enchantments, which were limited edition item 1 per account at the 5-year anniversary for Neverwinter. However, with this little glitch you could do with the Unbound, Lionheart, and Celestial Weapons, I had some friends give me some of theirs before, you know, that whole enchantment system went away. I couldn't find a silvery anniversary enchantment. I was very disappointed in silvery for not having a silvery. Fun fact. Yeah, I couldn't get the silvery one, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I have some of these shiny coins and Woven Tales enchantments. And yeah, I have these choice packs so that whenever I want, I can look at I could look at any type of, you know, legendary enchantment, legendary runestone, etc. at any quality I want. So it's not any rank, but it's close-ish. So yeah, I collected those, and yeah, that is my enchantment collection. Yeah, not really a huge point to it, but I'm not mad. Then we have, who do we have next? Seals. EXO has Seals gear. That's nothing that special. Nothing that special. I'm gonna open this one. So this is Treasure Caches and Quest Armor. Mod 21, when they reworked the whole adventure zone leveling system, they reworked all of that. Prior to that, you used to have bounty items that you could exchange for gear, caches. These caches had a chance to drop rare transmutes. You can't get these anymore. In addition, when you used to complete the layer quest, so there were on average 3 layer quests per zone, you would get a unique piece of gear, so to speak. These had very unique names, and it was the only place you could get these items. And some of them actually had unique appearances as well that you wouldn't find anywhere else in the game. Surprisingly. Like, you could find similar items, but not the exact same items. So when I knew these were going away, I took this character and I ran them through every single zone, start to finish, Black Lake District, all the way to Whispering Caverns. And I made sure to get every single piece of armor that comes from those quests, which now you can't get anymore. So potentially, I don't expect that there's other people that would have any of this armor, realistically speaking, because to most this probably just seems like trash, right? Not good stats, not good item level. I could see why, but I collected those, I hoarded those, it's all good. These came from the Underdark campaign store. I have some Dragonbone weapons here, not all of them. I have more on another character that I keep meaning to put here, and then I forget, so that kind of sucks. But one of these days I'll remember. So that's all of that. Then we have version 2.0, which if anyone's played Dofus, you will probably understand the reference of these 5 characters: 1.29, 2.0, 2.6, 1.31 Retro, Dofus Retro, and Wakfu. So yep, that I've had maybe 2 people in my entire time ask me if these names are related to Dofus, and it's made me so happy when people tell me they do, because I've played Dofus since 2008. I am on the Echo server if anyone ever wants to try and find me. And yeah, I get excited when I meet people that have played Dofus, because Dofus is like my first love of MMOs, and yeah, it'll always mean something to me. I love Dofus. So yeah, here we have one of every rare transmute organized by zone. Probably gonna butcher this, but this is Tower District. This is this not Helmshold? Black Dagger Ruins, I think. I think this was this Black Dagger Ruins? Oh god. Or no, these were Black Dagger Ruins. This was Helmshold, I believe. This was Velosk. This was... oh god, what zone was this? Oh, Icespire Peak, I think. Then this was Pirate Skyhold. This was... what area is associated with Spell Plague? Oh my god. The Chasm? Is it the Chasm? I think that's the Chasm. This was Mount Hotes now? I could never know. I never remember if it's Hot now or Hote now, but the mountain. This was Roth Valley, and this was Whispering Caverns. I believe that was all of them in order. So these are listed in order by zone. Fun fact. So those bounties that I was talking about on the last character, these were the transmutes they had a chance to drop, and the final quest of each zone, when you defeated the final boss, you had a chance to drop an unbound transmute item, and some of these are pretty rare. Like this I think is 1.5 million. Some of these are pretty rare, and I discovered in preparation of mod 21 that if you were to complete the quest, collect the reward, then abandon the quest without handing it in to the NPC, you could then collect it again and just do the quest repeatedly and farm a lot of these armors. So that is what I did, and I ended up with multiples of these, so wasn't mad at all. Worked out pretty good. Yeah. Could make a decent amount of AD off of these. So this is one of every item. The next 2 characters that I have after this, which maybe I can just show briefly, are the ones where I have duplicates of items. But this is one of every item, and the stuff listed here, I don't plan to sell. This is more for my own personal collections at this point, so yeah, we'll just look at the next two characters quickly just to show off how much junk I really have. So this character is all armors. So headpiece, armor piece, arms, feet. So that is all of that. So I have some duplicates of items. These came from an early quest early on. I don't think you can get these anymore, so kind of sucks, but yeah, so these are stuff that eventually I will sell, but not quite yet. Then the next character is jewelry, so that would be like neck pieces, one of every ring, and belts, I believe. I don't know if I put weapons under here. I may have. Let's see, so lots of belts, yeah, weapons as well, and then I had one of every ring just cause they're not transmutes, but I figure they're worth just keeping, cause why not, right? So, yep, there's some stuff to eventually sell once 2-3 years go by and they're worth more. After this, I have my artifact set collection, which is a newer collection within the last couple months. I was running out of things to collect and I just decided, why don't I get one of every artifact set to ever exist in the game? So I did. It's not perfect. It's still a work in progress. Right now, the main thing I'm trying to get is a little lesson for newer players. The game started off with basic artifact sets. That would be the Lavender set, the Imperial set, the Seldarine set, and the Black Ice set. Later on, when Mod 16, I think it was Mod 16 hit, they changed, well, they didn't change them. They added new items that were the Greater Lavender set, the Greater Black Ice set, the Greater Imperial set, and the Greater Seldarine set. This left the old items to just become unobtainable items at this point, and so they're pretty rare. So I've gotten the first 3 sets, but I've yet to find anything from the non-Greater Black Ice set. So that is a goal. Aside from that, I'm really just missing the Mythallar set and the Embellishments set, which is the journals, which I have on my rogue, and I don't feel willing to pay that much AD for the stupid cloak and belt when I have it bound to character on my rogue. So, unfortunate, but that's how it is. I'm still working on getting these company sets that are just neck and waist, no artifact, but I need guild marks for that. So that's been a work in progress. And yeah, so for the most part, I pretty much have all the sets. Some of these sets I didn't even know existed, but it was a fun collection I've gotten, including the now unobtainable Undermountain sets. So I was lucky to get those, Tiamat's Orb, stuff like that. So good stuff, good stuff. That was very fun to put together. After this is Rosal, who has my Lockbox collection. My Lockbox collection consists of full stacks of every lockbox in chronological order of release. So if this loads, I can better show this. There we go. So starting with the Nightmare lockbox, I have full stacks. The only ones I don't have full stacks of the lockboxes are the Astral lockboxes and the Magnificent Resurgence lockboxes, because those just weren't readily available or free drops like these ones, so they're just too expensive. I didn't see a point in that, but I still have them in chronological order. These are just extras, so if you're looking to put together a lockbox collection and I happen to have what you want or need, feel free to drop me a message. I'm on PC though, so this won't work on console. But I definitely do feel like I have a good portion of the remaining lockboxes of the older ones. So like the Nightmare lockbox, if I search them up, there's only 3 left on the auction house. I have 999 here, 57 here. So I know some older guilds will have these older lockboxes in their banks, but even then, I probably have a good portion of what's left on the server, so it's kind of cool knowing that, but yeah, so good collection. Then I have antiques. This is my favorite collection, and honestly I could talk about this collection all day, all night. Probably is going to be a really long section. This is the last character though that I have for my collection, so fear not. How far into this video are we? We're like 20 minutes. We're doing good for time. So starters, not everything here is super expensive or super rare. Some of it is, but not all of it is. Just a heads up. So for starters, I would probably start with the Emperor's shirt. Way back before this little appearance system existed, you used to just have to directly transmute an item, and if you retransmuted it, you lost the appearance that it had before. There was no way to get it back unless you got that appearance item again. So it was common for people to have multiples, you know. But however, you could not make your shirt and pants disabled as far as visuals went. So people would get the Emperor's shirt and the Emperor's pants, and that way they could hide their undershirt and their pants and make transmutes work that way. This was for Sharndar, these are for Dreadring. These don't commonly drop anymore. These two are more common, but they just fit in the category with here, and I thought it would be dumb to split those up. These no longer on the trade bar store. This was a limited edition item, or limited edition die at that. So I have it here because you can't get that anymore either anyways. Astral resonators, jeweled idols, planar idols. These gave you an astral resonator, then you would go around Protector's Enclave and get astral diamonds. Now the fun fact with owning those is that if you have one, you actually unlock a store from Rick's. And at this store, you can buy the astral resonators or coffer of AD. Not that fancy, but it's just kind of like a little hidden gem that I find to be cool. So is what it is. I have twisted weapons, elemental artifact weapons. They're not necessarily unobtainable, but in this day and age, it's very, very difficult to obtain them. So is what it is. We have one of every quality of thaumaturgic stones, power stones, stability, union stones, stability stones, and resonance stones. We have the swim set, which isn't, I think it's mostly the neck piece that's rare, to be honest. Yeah, kind of rare. We have loyal gear. This is old companion gear. This was really nice back in the day. Best in slot. We have this black ice set, which I'm still working on. We have this cache of treasures. This came from Portobello's campaign or the Respin's game event. That hasn't been around in years. It's kind of unobtainable. I don't know if I mentioned these scrying orbs. So these scrying orbs and the globe of the third eye, these came from old Sabella. Like really, really old Sabella, back before she took Sergeant Knox's place and started, you know, having her weekly quests. When you were leveling, you would get a currency, and with that currency, you would eventually be able to buy out everything from her store. One being the artifact. The scrying orbs, on the other hand, were a quest item, and you used it for a quest, and when you finished that quest, that scrying orb would be lost. It would disappear from your inventory because it got handed back to Sabella's, which is what makes it a rare item. Not only can you not do it anymore, but most people, they would not, you know, you couldn't abandon the quest. You couldn't complete the quest without it. So most people would just end up handing it back to Sabella instead of keeping it. And the cool thing is you can actually put it in your belt slot. So if I take one and I unequip this, I switch it here, you hit 5, it actually spawns an orb that follows you. And it will stay up for as long as you're logged in. And even putting it in your belt slot, it doesn't bind to you. So you can resell it. Actually, it's still up. That's kind of cool. I didn't know it would still stay up. Huh. So, yeah, it is a cool little vanity item that is very cool to have. So you could have that, your vanity pet, and your companion, and that's just pretty cool. Okay, now it disappeared. So yeah, it's a cool little vanity item that actually does function, but yeah, I don't know. I have the mount, some XP scrolls, a glory cache, the old enchantments, Alien Bruin Ring. This came from Old Sharandar, can't get it anymore. We have the Wizard Siege Guide. This used to come from the Stronghold when you would do the Siege tutorial. This doesn't drop anymore, so you can't get it anymore. This letter, oddly enough, this is probably my rarest item, I would say. Of all the things I own, it's the rarest. The story behind it is that when Barovia released, or Ravenloft, the intro quest needed you to deliver a letter just across the street from the main area or whatever. It was close by. And you would get this letter, and it's unbound, but you can't sell it, you can't discard it. You'd do the quest, you'd hand in the quest, and you would be stuck with the letter. So people were getting frustrated because they have this letter in their inventory, and there's no intended way to get rid of it. It's not consumed upon completing the quest. It's very annoying. So people will put them on the auction house, people will put them in their mailboxes and delete them, and there were a lot of complaints. So by the next week, they just made it so that this letter did not drop anymore. It was not an item, even though it has a whole letter and a whole text that I don't think you can read anywhere else in the tooltip box. People just didn't keep it. So it dropped for like 1 week for a bunch of people, several modules ago, and then people forgot about it. And I happened to keep mine, and I actually forgot I had kept mine for several years, actually. It wasn't only until a couple months ago that I stumbled across it, and I went, oh yeah, I remember that. So, cool story behind that letter. These came from Old Sharandar. They were quest items that for some reason did not bind to character or even account or anything. Completely unbound. So I kept these because they just seemed rare. You won't be able to do Sharandar anymore, or can't at this point. So yeah, these are also pretty rare items that I don't think anyone would have given second thought to. But I think of these things. We have some rare bags that generally you don't see these in the game anymore. They just give you away like legendary bags at this point. And then there's the cheap mythic bags. The reason I have this legendary bag here is because it's not available on the Zen market anymore. Cannot remember what category has the backpacks. Supplies, maybe? Yeah, the bags. So because they have these mythic bags for so cheap, they took out the legendary bags. Now, the runic legendary bags, they come on the Wondrous Bazaar every so often as like a little special item, a vanity item, whatever you want to call it. So I don't have it on here. I have it in storage. I have lots of them across my account, but this one in particular, there's just no way to get it anymore. So while it may seem common right now, with time, there will be fewer and fewer. There's already starting to be fewer and fewer. You know, you see 3 of the legendary ones here, but if we put the bag of holding, there's a lot more mythic ones for a lot cheaper. And yeah, these are just becoming less and less common. So that's cool. These doohickeys, they didn't really drop intentionally to be, you know, unbound. A lot of people just got them automatically bound to character, so I don't know if that was intended or not, but I have one unbound, and I don't see many of them around, so I keep it as a collector's item. Hecklers come from Respin's game. These you can no longer buy with guild marks. These don't drop from Castle Never anymore. These are Vigor and Leeching insignias, which aren't around anymore. Everfrost is something that was removed from the game, but I have the original kit and the greater kit, as well as the regular potion and the greater potions. gateway system. Gateway system is very old. It's obsolete. Doesn't exist anymore because of exploiting. People used to exploit it. But some of the rewards you would get would consist of 3 rewards, which was the refinement sack, the potion pouch, and some other thing that I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I only have 2. I'm still on the hunt for whatever the 3rd option was, so God forbid anyone has it. I'm in store for it for my collections. Identification scrolls. The original fashion sets, you used to get these fashion sets upon completing the tutorial. The old tutorial. These were removed eons ago. So the first was this set, then after a couple years they made it this set, and after a couple years they took out that set too, so that kind of sucks. Then I have temporary fashion items. This is the only item that I'm really gonna say, if you have any temporary fashion items aside from these 3, let me know and I will pay you well for them, because I am dying to get these and I had no idea they were this rare. I cannot find them anywhere. There's never anything. If I go to fashion and I put temporary, nothing comes up. Every now and then people do put for sale the Eye Tyrant mask, which that's fine, but I already have one. But these, you never see the other ones, especially the Sunite set. I'm dying for a temporary Sunite garb and trousers, as well as the little crown. So if anyone has them, I'm in store. I did collect one of every key and I don't plan to trade these in. So that's a thing. And last but not least is profession. So I have the old profession items. It used to go from an ore to some ornamental ore, rings and scales, ingots, and then weapon blades. And the old profession items seem to follow this. Wood, then to carved wood, and then halves, whatever that is. You know, pelts to strips to just leather. And yeah, vitriol. I have all the vitriols here. Some of these shards, the inert whatevers. These wands. I don't know why this is like a snapped wand and that's not snapped. Weird. Different stuff. Then I also have the bill of labors, and I have one for every quality, so that exists. I also have all the tools, almost all the tools. I'm missing the graver and the bellows. So, well, I'm missing the graver and the bellows at common quality. I have them at every other quality, but not at common quality. So that's a thing. But yeah, I have these. I have the infantry army, or not army, infantry armor, and the weaponry at uncommon, but I don't know if they exist at rare, but eventually I'll probably get those. But I do have the gauntlets at common, uncommon, and rare. I do have an uncommon cart, but it's on my rogue and it's bound to character, and I don't think they ever came unbound to character, so there's not much I can do about that, and these are just extras. So yeah, that more or less concludes my collection sets. Maybe that was as interesting for you as it was for me. I love my collections and I will always be collecting, so yeah. Let me know what collections you have and have a good rest of your day or night, depending where you are. So, ciao for now.